During the last couple of weeks, a lot of really high-quality tournaments have been played, but the Gelfand Memorial stands out. It gathered some of the absolute chess elite and offered a lot of very interesting games. One of those fantastic games was played in the third round between Israeli Grandmaster Boris Gelfand and English Grandmaster Michael Adams.
Michael Adams began the tournament in style. He won first 2 rounds, beating none other than the world champion Anand. But Gelfand, who eventually tied for first place, put a stop to Adams' mad dash.
Gelfand began the game by playing d4, a move which was followed by knight to f6, c4, e6, and knight to f3. Black has a serious choice to make here. He can either choose between a compact position, which follows after b6 or bishop to b4 check, or black can try for the center by playing d5. What variation did Adams choose here, Alfred?
Adams chose to confront the white central pawn structure by playing d5, and the idea is to attack the weak c4 pawn and use it as a springboard for his attack against the white queen side.
Gelfand decided to continue his development by playing knight to c3, and black also chose to develop by playing knight b to d7. We talk a lot about the importance of developing your pieces, and it's actually the same as in soccer or hockey. You don't want to play the game with half your team on the bench. Activate your pieces and put them into play. In this position, it's good to know that the black knight shouldn't be placed on c6, since that would block the black's c-pawn that plays an important role in the game's development, since black either uses it to attack by playing d5 or to strengthen his own center by playing c6.
There are some clear indication that black plans to use his c-pawn, and that's why white played bishop to f4, a move which makes black want to keep his pawn on c7 in order not to give up too many black squares.
Black feels pressured by the white bishop and wants to make it move. But doing this by playing knight to h5 is not recommended, since the knight ends up on an awkward square after white retreats with his bishop. That's why black captured on c4, making space for the knight to threaten the black bishop by placing it on d5.
White is a pawn up, and he plays e3 in order to open up for the bishop so that he can recapture the pawn. After this, knight to d5 was played, followed by bishop to c4, an exchange on f4, knight to b6, bishop to b3, bishop to d6, and g3.
Some of you might feel a slight aversion to white's latest move. Opening up the white squares on the king side when the bishop isn't there to protect them is usually what leads up to catastrophic results. But this time, white is actually okay, thanks to the fact that the black pieces are underdeveloped and have limited movement, so he'll have a tough time building up an attack.
The game continued with bishop to d7, castle king side, queen to d3, bishop to c6, and rook a to d1. White has a weak pawn on d4, and black takes the opportunity to build up an attack against it, with queen to f6, opening up for placing a rook on the d5. White can't remain passive, and Gelfand attacked by playing knight to g5, threatening checkmate on h7, and black defended himself by playing g6.
After knight g to e4, white has a strong center, but after black's queen to f5, it can be hard to figure out how to continue. Gelfand chose to remove his weak d-pawn by playing d5, and after a grand exchange on d5, we've reached a materially equal endgame, but where white has the initiative. From this position, it took another 57 moves before Gelfand could finally claim the victory. For those of you who want to partake in the brilliant endgame maneuvers, I recommend that you take a look at the rest of the game. But with that, we end this week's episode of The Opening School. Bye!